Welcome. My name is Eunice. Thank you for joining me on this journey of mastering relaxation. Today's yoga stretch sequence is for the ladies. It's for when we're on our menstrual cycle. I invite you to put on loose, comfortable clothing or clothing that makes you feel supported. Grab any and all props that you may need today for support. I'm going to be using a couple of bolsters, 2 blankets, and a hot water bottle. If you don't have a hot water bottle, you can always use an electric heating pad. Meet your body where it is today. Skip or modify any of the postures that does not feel good. And remember, your body is the guru. Honor and listen to it. Let's begin our practice lying on our backs. Take one of your blankets and put it at one end of your yoga mat. This is where we'll rest our head. And take your second blanket or yoga blanket and put it under the hips. Fold it up a little bit thicker so that the back of the hips and the lower back can feel supported. Bend the knees and bring the feet flat onto the ground. And take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. And let the knees fall in to rest on one another. Bring one hand to the heart center and bring the other hand to your lower abdomen. And take this time to ground down and feel the rise and the fall of the abdomen as you breathe. You can also use this time to send an intention or send a loving message to the body. See if you can release the hips and relax the lower back down. Soften your shoulders and soften the muscles of your face. Make sure you're not holding tension anywhere else in the body. Can you relax the abdomen a little bit more? Breathe into the sensations that you're feeling in the lower abdomen. Release the hand that's at heart center and bring it to meet the other hand at the lower abdomen. Continue to breathe and focus on what the body is feeling. We're going to release, gently roll onto your side and come up to a seated position. We're going to set up for a supported child's pose. Grab your bolsters or your blocks or stacked pillows, and you're going to stack them up high. You can place blocks under the bolsters or you can place pillows under the bolster. Sit back on the calves, take the knees out wide, the toes come to touch. And if you want to make it extra comfy, you can also use another blanket on top of the bolster. Make sure the bolster comes right in between the legs, nice and close to the abdomen. And then take your hot water bottle or your heated electric pad and place it right at the lower abdomen. And when you find a comfortable position, you'll take an inhale, grow the spine nice and long, and then exhale, melt the chest and the upper body down onto your support. Make sure you're fully supported and not holding the body anywhere. This should feel comfortable and like you're not doing any hard work. Soften the shoulders down. Rest the backs of the hands on the ground to make sure that your arms are not doing any work. And breathe and feel the belly push into the support and into the hot water bottle or your heated pad as you inhale. And as you exhale, feel the hips and the upper body grow heavy, melting into your support. And you're going to lift the head and switch over to the opposite cheek to balance out the stretch in the neck. Gently push into the hands and lift the upper body up to release child's pose. Sit back on the calves and just take a moment. We're going to set our props off to the side for later. Come onto all fours. Keep the hips stacked over the knees or hips distance apart. Spread the fingers wide, the wrists are right under the shoulders, and the hands are shoulders distance apart. We're just going to invite some intuitive movement into the body, just taking the hips from side to side. You can stay here, moving the hips from side to side, or you can begin to make small or large hip circles. Just tune into what your body needs or what you're capable of doing today. And if this movement doesn't work for you, you can always find a different intuitive movement. We're going to release the hip circles and just push the hands into the ground and push the hips back towards the heels, hovering the head over the ground. And then round the back up onto all fours. Let's take a few cat-cows. On an inhale, gently tilt the tailbone up, send the heart forward, the belly down. Exhale, round the upper back, belly button gently towards the spine. Inhale, send the heart forward, shoulders back, tailbone up. Exhale, push into the hands and the shins and round through the upper back. Link your breath with your movement, taking your time at your own pace through a few more cat-cows. On your next inhalation, come to a neutral spine. We're going to take a cat-cow to child's pose variation. Inhale into cow. Exhale as you round the back, send the hips back into child's pose, hovering the head above the ground or resting the forehead on the ground. Take an inhale to round up into your cow, heart forward, tailbone up. Exhale, round the upper back, hips back into child's pose. Inhale to round up, taking your time. Tailbone up, heart forward. Exhale, round the upper back. Send the hips back for child's pose. Try this flow a couple more times. On your next exhalation, you'll stay down in child's pose, just taking a few breaths, relaxing the upper body, breathing deeply into the lower abdomen. On your inhalation, lift the head, come upright. Come over the legs and just sit down for a moment as we set up for a reclined butterfly. You're going to set up your props, your bolsters and your blocks and your blankets, identical to how we set it up for supported child's pose. You can add your blanket on top of the bolster for added height and extra softness. So you'll bring the back of the hips to the end of the bolster. And make sure that you use a blanket under the hips. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And you have the option of placing blocks under the knees. And make sure to bring that bolster right up to the hips. And then you're just going to lie back on your support. Make sure to tuck your scapula, your shoulder blades, onto your back. Heart forward, shoulders are relaxed. And you can bring your hot water bottle right to your lower abdomen. Let the arms fall off to the side with the palms facing up. Relax the knees into your support. Let your lower back relax into your bolster or your pillows. Soften the expression on your face and allow your body to be held. We're going to use our next inhalation to release. Remove your hot water bottle or heating pad. If you had blocks under your knees, place them off to the side. Sit up and leave your bolsters and your props as is, and bring the left leg forward so the left shin is parallel to the left side of your yoga mat. The left knee is in a 90-degree angle and your right leg is behind you in a 90-degree angle. So knee and ankle are making a straight line. Just sit up nice and tall, take a few breaths as you ground down through the hips. Then on your next exhalation, lean back, placing both hands behind you. Relax the right hip down and feel the stretch on the inner right groin. Take an inhale, come up to release. And then exhale, fold over the left leg, resting the forearms right in front of the left shin. You can always place blocks or blankets under the forearms in front of the left leg if needed. Take an inhale to come upright and release. Keep the legs as is in dare pose and make sure that you're sitting right up against your props. The left hip is touching your prop. Bring the hands on both sides of your bolsters and use your inhalation to stretch the spine long. And then exhale to lie the upper body down on your props, resting on the left cheek. If you want to move deeper into the spinal twist, lift the head up and then turn the head to look back, resting on the right cheek. Soften your shoulders and let your arms grow heavy. Make sure you're not holding or clenching anywhere in the hips. Push into the hands to release. Come upright, and all you're going to do is just flip the legs right over. So the right shin is parallel with the right long side of the mat. The left leg, the left knee is in a 90-degree angle. So keeping the props as is, you're going to bring your right hip right up against your prop. Sit up nice and tall and relax the hips down. Then you're just going to lean back, placing both hands behind the hips and breathing into the sensation of the right hip. Take an inhale to come up forward, and then as you exhale, fold forward over the right shin. Fold forward over the right leg. Forearms are resting on the ground in front of the right shin. Push into the ground to release. Let's find our spinal twist. Make sure the right hip is touching your prop. And use your inhalation to grow the spine long and turn the chest towards your bolster. Exhale to melt the chest down, resting on the right cheek. Soften the upper body and soften your hips. If you took the deeper twist on the opposite side, you'll take it here. You'll lift the upper body, turn the head to look in the opposite direction, and come down to rest on the left cheek. Gently push the hands, come upright, and let's prepare for our final resting pose, Shavasana. You have the option to take Shavasana with no props, lying flat on the floor, or you can take your bolster or your pillows and place them under the knees. Placing the bolster under the knees helps the hips to relax and release, and also allows the lower back to release and relax down. You also have the option to take reclined butterfly for the final resting pose. We'll set up our bolsters, either stacking bolsters pillows on one another or using blocks under your bolster. And you can keep the blanket right under your hips. Bring the back of the hips right up to your bolster, soles of the feet together, knees open out wide. Rest the back down, relax the lower back, soften the shoulders. Make sure you're not holding anywhere and that the expression on your face is soft. Release the jaw, release the muscles of the forehead and the muscles around the eyes. Make sure you're not holding in your fingers or your toes. Soften the hips and breathe into a soft, relaxed body. Take a deep breath to gently release Shavasana. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And if you're in reclined butterfly, help the knees back up together. You're going to roll over onto one side and take your time to gently find your way into an easy seated pose. Bring one hand to the lower belly and one hand to the heart center. Just checking in with the body and your inner self. Sweep the arms out, around, and up. The palms come to touch overhead. And then land your palms at your forehead as a reminder that you are the master of your Zen. Palms come to rest at the lips as a reminder to communicate our truth with authenticity and kindness. Palms come to rest at the heart center as a reminder to know thyself and love thyself. Thank you for practicing with me. Peace and ease to you. If you enjoyed this session and it helped you, please share it with someone that it can help. Subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell so you'll be aware of when I post. Until next time. Hi, thank you for joining me for that yoga stretch session, that practice that we just did for yoga when you're on your menstrual cycle, your moon cycle. I know it could be a tough time to show up on the mat. Sometimes we may feel tired, fatigued, crampy, icky, and we can skip over some of our self-care needs. But if you showed up and you stuck it out till the end and you stayed until the end, thank you. I wasn't going to, but I just want to flip a card for us. I want to flip a card from 2 decks, just one card. I'm going to be using the Sacred Self-Care Oracle that I've used before. And I feel like we need a reminder that we're goddesses during this time. So I'm going to use the Goddess Power Oracle. Just a message to give us inspiration, to support us, help us feel good during this time. So I'm going to start off with the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. Let's get one card to add. Maybe doing yoga and stretching is already part of your routine that you do when you're on your menstrual cycle. And maybe we can add an extra card, an extra activity or practice that can help us during this time. For me, menstrual cycle, it used to be a horrible time. It used to be really rough. I actually dealt with endometriosis when I was younger, And my cycle since has changed dramatically, and it's not so bad now. And I use the time to take walks. I use the time to rest. It is a time to rest. It's a time for release. I take the time to rest, take a nap. I'm also active during this time. But yoga and stretching is one thing that I do not skip out on during this time. It gives me so much, it just makes my body softer, it relaxes me, and it helps me with the fatigue that I often feel tired. So let's get a card. That flipped over right away. And I only wanted one card and I got two. So two is, oh my goodness, I love these cards. This is what I do. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting all excited. Watch a movie. Cuddle up with a furry friend or with a human friend and watch something entertaining. Watch something that makes you feel good. And also, drink tea. I don't think I need to read the descriptions on these cards. I drink ginger tea every single day. It doesn't matter if I'm on my cycle or not. Ginger tea is so soothing to me. It's cleansing. It also thins the blood, so it helps during this time. So these may be things that you do, but I love how both of these cards just signify resting, nothing is active about these two cards. So the self-care card messages, the oracle cards are telling us, watch a movie, fix yourself some tea, and you could definitely do these two things at the same time. I'm going to take that advice. So we have these two cards, and let's get a goddess oracle card to go with this. Let's see, my deck is all over the place. Let's get a shuffle. Let me see, I'm just looking at my battery. Let's get a goddess. We all need a reminder that we are goddesses during this time. This natural phase of our femininity is, at times I used to think about it making me feel weak because I literally feel tired, but it's empowering to learn about what your body is doing and what our body does for us as women during this time. So I thought it would be a great idea to flip a goddess power oracle card. All right, that's a good shuffle. I'm gonna cut the deck quickly. All right, what goddess has a message for us during this time? Let's see, what goddess? I can feel that is a stack. That's too many. I just want one. Let's get one card, one goddess to give us a message. Let's see. I'm going to take the card that's on top because I could be flipping forever. Let's see. Ain, adaptability. Oh, I love that. Isn't this a time to be adaptable and flexible? I don't know for you, but sometimes I get frustrated because it's like I have plans and I want to do this, and boom, my cycle starts, and guess what? My body's saying rest. Let's read this quickly. It's the empowerment message. Ain, adaptability. When you've set your intentions for how your life could be different, better, fuller, juicier, prosperous, creative, more meaningful, etc., adaptability is the power you'll need to rely on. The old familiar you, the one who is used to your comfort zone, is now invited to dance in uncharted territory. The questions to ask yourself as you step into the unknown are, who do I need to become in order to experience this life I desire? What in me needs to shift so I can welcome this amazing abundance? You may want to pull an extra card after your reading, as a message from another goddess may grant you further insight into your answers. Ooh, okay. Know you have everything you need right now. You are aligned with the Celtic shapeshifter goddess Ain, who could move effortlessly between our world and the world of Fae. Her power of adaptability is sparkling within you. Magic is afoot. And there's an alignment message that says, sometimes you find yourself unable to respond to life's challenges because you are holding on too tightly to an image of how things should be. It's hard to adapt to changing circumstances when you are so connected to familiar conditions or an old identity. Or you may be too attached to the form of your desired outcome, and when things go in a different direction, you resist. Have no fear. Instead, love these changes. Be open and curious. Call on the goddess Ayin to embody her power. Remember, you could effortlessly shift from one form to another and move between worlds without consequence. Trust that whatever you're bumping up against will dissolve through your willingness to simply be with what is and allow the magic to reveal itself. I feel like this card is so relevant and aligned because adaptability is all about perspective too, in a sense, like flowing with change. And this video is about a woman's body going through change that we go through every single month. And I feel like there is obviously, for me, I feel like there also is a deeper spiritual meaning. But when I wanted to keep it towards self-care, I feel like this card, adaptability, Ayin, is asking, can you go with the flow? So sometimes we make all these plans and there's all these things that we want to do, and then our body is asking us whether you're on your cycle or not on your cycle. Our body is asking us to rest and to honor the flow and the cycle of life. Honor our natural cycle. And right now, we got a message of, can you just rest, chill out, comfort yourself. I feel like these messages are just perfect for after this yoga stretch session we just did. We are adaptable. We're always changing, but can you adapt in the mind? Because the body's going to do what the body's going to do, but can we accept in our mind what's going on, what's happening, and go with that flow? These are the messages. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for joining me. And remember, take time to master your relaxation. Until next time.